All right, good evening, everybody. Let me close this out. Here we go. Let's do this. Stand by, doing a few things right quick. All right. All right. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the FreightTrainMindset.com. We should be live on Facebook if y'all want to check that out. Also, I put the link in a post just a few minutes ago. If you need that, let me know. I can get it over to you. There we go. Everybody's on the line. Now we're live. All right, so good evening to you. We're going to talk about the 5 steps to time management to win at your calendar. The calendar it can be the devil. It can be your best friend. But if anything, you need to win at your calendar. The only way you're ever going to get your goals, any way that you can ever achieve and grow, is you're going to have to start having your calendar available. You're going to have to look at your calendar. You're going to have to review it. So we're going to go over 5 key steps to time management and to winning your calendar. I had a lot of requests for this. So hopefully if you can share this out to your friends, especially if they're having troubles getting things done and growing. Let me turn off a few things here, but we won't go very long, probably about 20, 30 minutes, something like that. I will be sharing my screen. So hopefully you guys, there comes a few more into the Zoom room. Of course, I'm on Facebook as well. There we go. All right. So it looks like everybody's getting loaded up and in. Sweet. Awesome. Awesome. All right. Good deal. Now, here we go, getting started. I'll make sure I'm getting, okay, everybody's good. So welcome to the 5 steps of time management. So I'm going to share my screen right quick. I want to show you actually a live calendar. So step one, so go ahead and write this down because I think this is probably the number one thing is I think you need a Gmail account. So write that down. If you don't have a Gmail account, that is the latest, greatest thing to have right now is some type of Gmail account. They're free. Anybody can have one. But you need to have a Gmail account. Why is that so important? Because it's going to link to a Google Calendar. This is my preference. This is what I've used, and it works really, really good if you use a Google Calendar. All right. So let me show you what my calendar and how I go about getting things in line to doing things so that I get everything done. I mean, most of the times, almost every day, I get everything I need to get done. Most people go, how in the world do you do that? Well, that's why you're here to learn that because I struggled with it. I would have papers, I'd have post-it notes, probably you do. You write down a note here, you write down a note here, and then all of a sudden you have no idea what you were supposed to do. The post-it note gets thrown away. You wrote something down, you forgot to put the time, you forgot to put the date. And it is so, so important. If you want to grow your business, you have to be organized. Some of my, I guess, mentors and people like that used to laugh at the way that I would do things because I was so unorganized. I wouldn't have it. I'd have papers everywhere. Get organized. So number one is get a Gmail account, get a Google account. It's free to do. You can do your name at Gmail. Most of the time, those are available. You can do your name the number one at Gmail, and it's available. So let's just show you a live calendar. I'll give you an idea of what a calendar. I'll show you how this thing works. It's pretty sweet. It seems to be very simple. If you have questions at the end, of course, I'll take any questions on that. So I'm going to share my screen right quick with you guys. And here is what a Google Calendar looks like. You actually can look at it from a monthly standpoint. You can look at it at a yearly standpoint. This is all in the top right-hand corner. What is so cool, I can actually draw on this thing. It's pretty cool. So up here in the top left-hand corner, you can select and see which view you want to see. So if you go right to the day, it's going to give you today's, whatever day you want it to be on, okay? So let's do like today. I had a pretty busy schedule. There's today's events. Now, there's tomorrow's events, and so on and so on and so on. Now, what is that green in there? You can actually, and let me show you how to create something. Let's just take this one out, and I'm going to pick on a day. The best thing I do is take a week. I like to look at the week and see what's coming, looking in advance. Because if you look at today's date, all of a sudden you'll forget that you had something at 7 o'clock when it's already 6 o'clock and you forget about it. So I always like to look at a week. That's just my opinion, just what I do that works really well. Now, when it comes to meetings and things like that, here, let me show you kind of how, see how I'm switching over weeks here. And all of a sudden, see that ETL meeting? That is a meeting I have every single week at 10 o'clock, Tuesday to Friday. It's going to be on my calendar no matter what. See that Clubhouse? Same thing. That Clubhouse stays there. Okay. Those things are already there. They're not going anywhere. I've already programmed them in. Now, how do you do that? You just click on a square and say, let's say I have a meeting, and this meeting, I select the time. Let's say it's 2 to 2:30. And then right here, this little button right here, if you can see my screen, I'll try to make it as big as possible. Right here is this very, very important repeat. You can repeat it daily. You can repeat it weekly, like every Wednesday. You can repeat it on the month, annually, every week, things like that. You can also get notifications. It'll notify you when you want it to notify you, so you don't have to really set an alarm. You can also add guests to the calendar. They can modify things. You can put anybody's email in there as long as they have an email. That's why I like the Gmail, because if you have a Gmail, it'll link to your calendar. So if I want to meet with somebody here, I can put in their email address. I see Jeff out there, so we'll type Jeff, and there's Jeff. And look, he's added right there, and it will go on his calendar as well. He has to accept it, and it goes on his calendar. It's pretty awesome. Okay. If you want to do like a Zoom or a Google Meet, if you use Google Meet, you can click there and put in the Google link to it. I think it actually provides that there for you. Or you can erase that, and then you can actually add, let's say you have a link for a Zoom, and that person, all they have to do is click on that Zoom. Very great. Now, not sure who all needed that, but I think that's very, very crucial. Step one of having that. Now, how do I get my things, each event done, each on a daily basis? What I like to do is line up my goals with my daily events. Okay, so what I'm doing is I already have I'd say Sunday night, you need to plan out your week. Sunday night, you need to, I know Sunday's a day of rest. I get it. I take time off too, believe it or not. So when I take time off, usually around between the hours of, usually when my kid goes to bed around 7 or 8, that's usually when I start. I'm already thinking about it during the day, what I've got next week. But usually at night, I'm starting to plan out my goals. What do I want to hit? What number I want to hit? What's the, if you're in real estate, the housing, your insurance, how many insurance sales, any type of business where you can look at your numbers, you need to know your numbers, okay? But plan that out for the week. Now, what I do is I base that on how many, like let's say Monday, if I want to hit a certain goal, then I'll put that, and that's where I hit. That's why that's so important, is having that calendar in front of you, which I'll go over that in a minute. But you have to have exactly what you got to have your goal. If you read Think and Grow Rich and any of these motivational books, you need to have your goals, exactly what you want to hit, and be specific. Don't say you want to make $10,000 this month. You got to say exactly how much you want to make. If you want to make $1 million this month, write it down and go get it. If you're not specific of what you want to do this year or next year or 5 years from now, you need to figure that out, get specific. So that's the same thing that goes along with your calendar. What do you want to get done? That is very important. You have to know what you want to get done, because it'll relate to your calendar. Okay. All right. So moving forward, the next step is, again, that's aligning it with your goals. Okay. So what I do with my calendars, too many people have calendars, but they never look at them. How many of you probably have a day timer? You've got it all written down, but you never look at it. If you don't look at your schedule each day over and over and over, you're probably forgetting things. So my next advice is to look at your calendar. Have it up. Mine is always brought up. It's on my phone. That's the other thing, is you can download actually the Google, I believe it's called Google Calendar. You can download the app, and it syncs to your calendar. All you got to do is log into your Gmail, and it will actually sync to your calendar. So then you can click on it, like I can click on it on my phone, and I can add or take away or anything else that I want to do. It's pretty awesome. With that, it will also, like I said, notify you too. You can have it text you, you can have it email you, you can do all those kind of things. So those are very, very important on getting your things done. Okay. Another thing that you really ought to do, and with not only looking at it, I think you need to go digital. This is just my opinion. If you're on paper, everybody's moving to digital. If you're not moving to digital, I know it's going to be uncomfortable. Guess what? That's when things change. When you get uncomfortable, that's the point. You got to get uncomfortable to get comfortable. So on the other side of fear of success. So if it scares you, great. Yes, it will probably mess your head up because you're like, what in the world did I just do? I hated it. I remember I had a calendar, probably like you have, a big one, maybe even one, a little day timer that you open up, you put your notes in there. That's how I got through college with it somehow or another at 20 years old. But now everything's digital. If you're not digital, you need to get digital and start moving it because it's going to save you so much time. And guys, if you're trying to save time and you want to make money, digital is the way to go. Now, how important is that calendar? It's very important. I think too many times you let distractions get in your way. You cannot let distractions get in your way of this. Your calendar is your calendar for a reason. You're going to have to tell people no. Get good at telling people no. Because if you keep saying yes to everybody and you got your calendar set up, you're going to piss off somebody else that lives by a calendar. My calendar, I live by that thing. I mean, I go in order exactly what I got to do every single day. And I'll throw and leave room. Be sure to leave room. It's just like a emergency situation. There's going to be things come up. I'm not saying I'm not flexible. You can be a little bit flexible, but if you want to hit your goals every day, you're going to have to get pretty stern on this. This is the way you go. This is what I got to do. This is because the only way you're going to hit your goals is sticking to that calendar every single day. Okay. Now, another very important part to this calendar is a power list. There's probably not many of you ever heard of a power list. Some of you have, but a power list. What in the world is a power list? A power list is really exactly what it says. It's the things you got to get done, no matter what comes in your way. For example, what would be something on a power list? Power list can be anything that you know. I always call it, you've probably heard this before, the term eat the frog. I think you need to get the hardest thing, the one that you do not want to do. There's things every single day that you're like, man, I don't want to do that. Man, I just don't want to get that done. I can't, and you can't probably keep pushing off. A lot of times we take those things we don't want to do and we push them off. Eat the frog. What I mean by that is do that first. I mean, as soon as I get done with working out, I eat some breakfast. I mean, I have a daily morning routine, which we'll do another webinar on that. But at 8 o'clock, I'm sitting down at my computer with my calendar and going through my day, and I'm trying as hard as I can to work on that power list and get the hardest thing that I know I got to get done. Now, maybe that's a phone call. In California, that's 5 o'clock in the morning. I can't make that phone call yet, but I might move that to very early, maybe 11 o'clock, so that, 8 o'clock rolls around on the West Coast, I can get that done. Eat the frog. I'm telling you, that's what changed my business when it came to getting my calendar right, was getting that thing out of the way. Because if you don't, you will continue to push it, and you'll continue to push it, and you'll continue to push it until eventually it doesn't even get done. And you're like, God, it's already been a month and I didn't even get that done. So you can't procrastinate that. You cannot procrastinate on your power list. Your power list are your items that you have to get. Without a shadow, no matter what goes in your way. And how many things are on a power list? There's only about 4 or 5 items on a power list, okay? 4 or 5 items, and you put them down, and these are things you want to get done, let's say this week. It doesn't have to be a day. It can be a week too. I do both. But you write down the power list, and you write down those things you want to get done this week, okay? And you want to get them done as fast as you can. And let's do it this way. Think of it. Here's an item that would be on a power list. Go to the gym. I know that sounds silly, but go to the gym, work out, maybe lose weight, maybe eat better. That is on a power list. Now, why is that so important? Because you need to be doing that. And if you see that every single day, I would say do that first. That's probably one of the hardest. Got to get up and go to the gym. You got to eat right. So I would put like eat right on your power list. Now, can you change your power list? Absolutely, you can change your power list after it becomes a habit. After it becomes a habit, when you start doing this over and over to where you're doing it now 4 weeks, 5 weeks, 6 weeks. Now it's a habit. You can remove that off the power list. Now you got to put something else up there. Maybe you want to, there's 1,000 things you can come up with as far as power list goes, but your power list is so important for growing, for building, for getting things done. I think too many people don't get what they want to get done just for the mere fact of just putting things off. We're procrastinators. We're natural. We're made like that. We're made procrastinators. We're made to put things off and wait to the last minute. That's why I say eat the frog. I think you need to write that down again. Eat the frog. Get the hardest thing done. Get it done first. Okay. So hopefully this is helping a little bit, guys. This is what's helped me as far as getting a lot of the things I want to get done on a daily basis. Because I think just my opinion again, because I mean, I was there. I a lot of times again wrote everything down and I would put things. You're going to have to update your calendar too. That is very important. If you go past something and you didn't complete it, let's say it was a phone call. Let's say if somebody you needed to call, you didn't call them. Maybe something came in the way. All of a sudden your phone rang, wife calls, somebody calls, and all of a sudden it throws you off because you're supposed to call them. You need to go back to your calendar and adjust that. If you don't adjust it, you'll put it aside and you'll forget about it. And then all of a sudden you're on Friday afternoon. You're like, oh my God, I forgot to call that person. Now you push it to Monday, and what happens? Maybe you lose the sale. Maybe you lose the follow-up. Maybe you lose money. So you got to get it done. That's where that power list, you've got to see it in front of you. If you're not seeing if your eyeballs, think about a farmer. When a farmer creates, because we were talking about this in a clubhouse room earlier, think about a farmer and his garden. A farmer's garden, no matter what you put in that bad boy, if a farmer uses his feet and he's in that garden, they say I think there's a quote like the farmer's foot creates a bigger garden, something like that. But it's the same thing with your calendar. If your eyeballs are on that calendar constantly, you'll work your calendar. The thing is, you're not probably looking at it enough. It's sitting over there on the side, or it's on the end of your desk. Some people have those big calendars in front of them, but with the written kind, you've got to sit there. The digital kind is going to remind you. It's going to send you an email. I mean, I constantly get, and I know we hate emails. I get it. I understand. I don't like emails either. But if it reminds me of something, and see, you can remind it 2 days out, 3 days out, a week out. You can do it 5 minutes before, 10 minutes before. So you can adjust those kind of things that are so crucial when it comes to being a business owner, because you can adjust. And if everybody would get on the same page with this, it's pretty awesome because you can adjust. Let's say you can't go. Like I met with a guy today that we had to adjust the calendar. We just moved my spot to a day over. It updated his, it updates mine, it updates my guests. It's wonderful. So it works with everybody, especially when you're in a recruiting business or you're in a sponsorship business where you're trying to build a team. It's wonderful because you can put people in and they get a notification, and get this. They even get a reminder too. That's right. Your guests even get a reminder that, hey, they got a meeting with you, or they have to meet on this Zoom. So they're not searching all over. What was that Zoom again? What was that place I was supposed to be? It does that. It's almost like a self-reminder, which is incredible when it comes to that, because if you're not reminding your follow-ups, you're forgetting, just like we are. I mean, I forget things too. It happens. We're human. I'm not perfect. I'm by no means perfect. But the more that I look at a calendar and my calendar and look at that thing and touch it and move it and change this and change that, the better I get more stuff done. And you have to stop at things. You have to select the time slot. Stick with that. If you think it's going to take you an hour, stick to an hour. If you're building a website and it takes you 30 minutes and you want to, let's say it's read a book. Now, I naturally read books for about 20 or 30 minutes, and that's about all I can take usually in a day. I try to read 20 to 30 minutes a day. That's kind of my goal. Now, is that on my calendar? Absolutely not. Did it used to be? Yes. Why? Because it was on my power list. So I would put reading on your power list. If you want to read, if you want to educate your mind, which I suggest you do all the time, if you want to do that kind of stuff, put that on your power list. Put that on your power list to where you see it constantly. It's there. And then all of a sudden, what will happen? You will begin reading every day for a little bit and starting doing that. And then you can take it off your power list. That's why it's not on my calendar, because I've taken it off. I've taken it off of my it's off of my power list now. It's not even on my calendar, because I know each day that I'm going to try to read, just like the gym, that my working out is not on my calendar anymore, because I've been doing it for like 6 weeks now. So I know in the morning I get my routine, I go through the routine, and I get that power. I know that power list, and I can adjust accordingly. So I think that's really, really big as a power list and doing that kind of thing. All right. So last one, I believe this is number 5, is no distractions. Write down no distractions. You cannot, if somebody's getting in your way, most of the time it's ourselves, But when it comes to a calendar, a lot of times that's on somebody else because you know what you need to get done and they're distracting you. So that's where that freight train mindset comes in. And be sure to check out the website, freighttrainmindset.com. I've got some cool stuff on there. This webinar will absolutely be on there. But when it comes to your calendar, don't let anybody stop your calendar. That's yours. Nobody gets on the calendar unless they know they've got time with you. So make your time valuable. Your time is very, 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 very important. It's important to you because if you let someone else dictate your time, then you're not going to get anything done. I know people that do 4 things a day. 4 things. I bet I probably do 30 or 40 a day. It's got to be around somewhere around it. Now I have to take some time and check it out. Now, why do I get so much done? Because of the calendar. Because I'm sitting there looking at that calendar, constantly moving and changing things. I add stuff, I delete stuff. That's why by the end of the day, I've moved stuff around, I've changed stuff, I've moved stuff. Same thing with follow-ups. If you're having to follow up with people, put them on your calendar. And let's say they say, well, I want to think about it. We'll move them to 2 days later or move them to a week later. If you say, hey, do you mind if I circle back? This is a really good one. Do you mind if I circle back in 2 or 3 months? Sure. Okay. You don't even have to remember that. You don't even have to write it down. You can put it on your calendar. And all of a sudden that week comes, and that's where the details. Let me pull up the details so you can see how awesome this can be. So let's say I click on this. Let's do a different one. Let's say I go in here and I can hit details, edit, and I can go down here. See this details here at the bottom? I don't know if you guys can see. I think you can. All right. So down here at the bottom, let's see. There it goes. There we go. All right, so see at the bottom, I have Zoom links and stuff. I can write what happened on there. So I suggest going into the person that you're talking to and write details. Write details of exactly what happened. And what is wonderful, if you write down how you met them, who are they? Did you meet them on Facebook? Did you meet them on Instagram? Did you meet them on LinkedIn? Wherever you met the person, or maybe that's where you now know the person from. Whatever it is, type it in there. Be descriptive. I learned this trick from working at Michelin. You ever heard of the big tire? There's a little small company called Michelin Tires. That's what we used to do. Is every time somebody would call in or come through our business, through a call in, through an email, through a chat, through something, we documented it. We made a note of it. Same thing with your calendar. Your calendar's there. You've got the person in there or whatever you're doing in your job. You can detail it. You can start writing, hey, this happened here, and then description, so that when all of a sudden, let's say 6 months from now, it's like, man, I had a conversation with him back on such and such date, and it keeps up with all that, and you don't have to keep up with any of it. It's pretty awesome. So the last one, of course, is the no distraction, is standing firm on your calendars. Believe in your calendar. It's yours. It's yours. It's nobody else's, only yours, and nobody can stop you from getting your stuff done. I do think you need to write down more stuff. I think you need to kind of be an overachiever. I always try to do 110 to 120%. I don't get everything done on my calendar. If I don't, I move it, I adjust it. But again, that comes back with hopefully these steps that I've given you tonight. I said a Gmail account. I think that's number one. Get you a Gmail account. It connects to your calendar, especially if you got an iPhone. I know that's on Droid too. Google Calendar. I think you need to align up your goals. Make sure your goals are aligning with what you're getting done. So have a plan, get a plan together. If you need help on that, get with your mentor, someone that's doing what you want to do. You need to look at it often. You need to have it in front of you all the time. If you work 8 to 5, have it in front of you 8 to 5. If you work crazy hours and at night, have your calendar in front of you so that you don't forget anything and nobody has to remind you to do it. Number 4 is have that power list. That power list, it should be probably moved up to number 1. Power list is so crucial when it comes to that of getting things done, because power list, again, it's only 4 or 5 things, but that's what will get it. And once you turn it into a habit, then you can take it off and adjust that power list. And of course, number 5 is no distractions. Don't have any distractions. Distractions is that's what slows us all down. We have those limits and beliefs that we can't get things done. And when we start believing in ourselves and believing in our calendar, you will be shocked. You will be floored at what you get done, because now all of a sudden, instead of distractions getting in your way, you're getting money in your way, because all of a sudden you've got money coming your way because you're getting more done. The time's not going to change. You still only have 24 hours in the day, no matter how you slice it. Another thing that's really cool that I like to do is make up any time I lost on the weekend, if I can. So if I didn't get to a website or I didn't get to something that I needed to get done, I'll try to make it up somewhere on the weekend so that I don't have to push it another week. I try to get everything done that I want to get done in 1 week. And again, eat that frog. Eat that frog early in the week. The faster you get stuff done early in the week. I remember at school we used to try to work really hard Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. So Thursday and Friday wasn't so hard. It still kind of stuck with me. I still try to leave my Friday afternoons a little bit less, but I work really hard on Thursday and Wednesday so that I don't have to work as hard on Friday afternoon. But that's just something I do. Of course, I work Saturday mornings, and I usually sometimes work Sundays. I try to take Sundays off, but that's my refresher day. So that on Sunday night, I'm writing down what my goals are for the week. That's my strategy. That's my strategy time. What did I not get done last week, and what do I really want to focus on the next week? So hopefully this webinar helped you out some. Of course, it'll be on my Facebook. Appreciate you guys joining me, every single one of you. I'm going to stop the live on Facebook. But again, freighttrain.com, freighttrainmindset.com. Check that out. I've got a lot of cool stuff on there, and I'm adding stuff all the time. I've got a new webinar next week. I'm pretty excited about that one. Let me, I think this will be a good one and if you go to freighttrainmindset.com/events, it's how to stop thinking and start doing. I think a lot of us do a lot of thinking and we don't do enough. Wallace Waddle tells us all the time to act now. Our time is limited, guys. You're only here for so long, so you really need to start acting now. Don't waste any more time. Your time is so limited. We're only here for so long. So if you want to make money, then you need to start doing something now. Start moving into a rhythm of, okay, wait a minute, I'm getting ahead. That's one of the things that in my business, we can see exactly how well I'm doing every single day, every single month. So you can see the progression. If you don't know your numbers and you don't know how you're doing compared to last year, compared to 5 years ago, you're doing it wrong. You need to know your numbers. You need to know exactly what your numbers are every single day, every single week. Look at your stuff, look at your numbers, whether you're in insurance, real estate, network marketing, anything. Doesn't matter what you need to know your numbers. You need to know your sales. You need to know exactly what you're doing so you can do those goals. Your numbers are based on your goals, so you can set your goals. And if you're hitting all your goals, you're doing it wrong, by the way. Okay. If you're hitting all your goals, you're doing it wrong. You've got to set your goals so that you push yourself to where you're like, am I really going to do this? So that when you do it, all of a sudden everything changes. So I'm Jimmy. I'm out of here. I'm going to turn off this live stuff, and appreciate every one of you joining. And then I'll put that up on the Facebook. So